Perhaps you are listening to me this very moment with a longing that burns within you, a desire that seems so noble, so beautiful, and yet it has become a torment. For you want it with all your heart, and the more you want it, the further it seems to flee. You say within yourself, I must have this. Whether it be love, or money, or health, or some position in life, you cling to it with desperation. You pray with trembling lips. You affirm with anxious repetition. You look about your world for the slightest evidence that it is coming, and still it hides from you. Why is this so? Why should the very thing you love, the very thing you seek, appear to mock you with its absence? My friends, it is because your desire has become infected with need. There is nothing wrong with desire. Desire is the very language of God. Every dream, every vision, every hope that rises in you is the whisper of the divine, urging you toward the discovery of yourself. Without desire, the world would be a desert, lifeless and still. But when desire becomes need, it becomes a chain about your neck. For to need a thing is to confess you do not yet possess it. It is to stand before the feast and yet cry out, I am hungry. It is to behold the promised land and yet murmur, I am not there. And in that very confession, you build walls about yourself that keep your blessing from entering. I tell you, it is possible to want a thing deeply and yet not need it. This is the secret of letting go. To burn with a holy desire and yet to stand free from its chains. To long for love, yet not to pine. To welcome abundance, yet not to beg. To honor the vision, yet not to be enslaved by its absence. Imagine a man who longs for the affection of another. If he clings, if he pleads, if he hounds her steps with restless eyes, she grows weary and withdraws. But if he stands in quiet dignity, knowing his own worth, smiling gently as though already beloved, she is drawn as though by fragrance. The difference is not in the desire, but in the need. So it is with money. Chase it with trembling fingers, and it slips away. But let it find you calm, secure, already rich in your imagination, and it comes as naturally as water flows downhill. This is why so many of you suffer. You have been taught to amplify desire until it screams. But the law does not answer your screams. It answers your knowing. And knowing is quiet. Knowing is serene. Knowing is the voice of one who wants but does not need. In our time together, I will show you how to walk in this mystery, how to hold your desire as a flame without burning your hands, how to walk in longing without the chains of need. And when you master this art, you will discover the strange and wondrous truth that the moment you no longer need it, it comes. Now let me show you, for in the next breath we shall uncover why your need has betrayed you and how imagination, not desperation, is the power that fulfills. Why does your longing, so sincere, so fervent, fail to clothe itself in flesh? Why does it remain a shadow, taunting you from a distance? The reason is simple. Though few have eyes to see it, desire, in its purity, is the voice of God. But when you clothe it with need, it becomes a confession of lack. Consider the man wandering the desert, lips cracked, body faint with thirst. His cry is desperate, but to the law, it is only a broadcast of emptiness. He says, I am thirsty. And the world answers, Amen, you are. Contrast him with the man who sits beneath the shade of a tree, cool drink in hand. He does not shout. He does not plead. He is satisfied and satisfaction multiplies itself. Think of fire. Stand too close, grasp at the flame, and you are burned. Sit at a little distance, and you are warmed. The flame has not changed. Your relation to it has. Desire burns when clutched as need, but it warms when embraced as faith. And think of Israel crying out for a king. They had the presence of God, the invisible I am. Yet in their need, they demanded, give us a king like other nations. And so they were given Saul, tall in stature but small in spirit. They traded the invisible presence for a visible crutch, and their bondage began. So it is with you. When you pray as a beggar, affirming with anxious repetition, you declare not the power of God, but the poverty of man. To cry out as though shouting across a chasm is to deny the nearness of the one within. But to whisper from within, to know it is already yours, that is faith. Stay with me, for in the next moment, I shall show you how to walk this narrow path, how to want without clinging, how to long without despair, how to live in this mystery, and in living be free. So then, how do we walk this narrow path? How do we burn with the flame of desire and yet remain free of its chains? The secret is not to kill the desire, but to change the atmosphere in which it lives. You must turn away from the anxious cry of I need and rest instead in the quiet knowing I am. Do not stand outside begging at the door. Step within and dwell as though you already belong. If wealth is your aim, then hear the conversations you would have as one who is wealthy. If love is your dream, then imagine yourself already chosen, already cherished. If health is your desire, then feel the vitality in your limbs as though it were natural. Creation does not wait for tomorrow. It accepts only the present claim. And learn to hold your vision lightly. Think of a small bird resting in your hand. If you clutch it with fear, you crush the very life you long to enjoy. But with an open palm, it remains. So it is with your desire. Grasp at it as though it might flee, and you strangle it. Hold it gently with joy, and it abides. Understand also that longing is not your enemy. Longing is the spark of faith. But when longing is mixed with fear, it becomes despair. To long in freedom is to whisper, I would delight in this, yet I am whole even now. To long in bondage is to cry, without this, I am nothing. One state draws, the other repels. Practice the art of smiling at your desire. Yes, smile. Do not approach it with clenched fists and desperate eye. Approach it with ease, with playfulness. If it is love you seek, imagine walking in the quiet evening with your companion, their hand resting in yours. If it is wealth, feel the weight of coins and notes as you place them easily upon the counter, as though abundance were ordinary. If it is health, feel the strength in your step as though it had always been there. Let these imaginal acts be as light as dreams upon your pillow. For the subconscious does not yield to pressure, but to ease. The whisper enters where the shout is turned away. And when doubt arises, as it will, do not fight it. Fighting is proof that fear has already won. Instead, step back for a moment into your sanctuary. Let it be a simple scene, one so ordinary that it feels natural. The scent of home-cooked bread drifting from the kitchen, the sound of your child's laughter echoing through the hallway, the touch of a steering wheel beneath your hands as you drive your own car. These are anchors. When storms of doubt press against you, return to your sanctuary for a breath and emerge again clothed in faith. Guard also the secrecy of your creation. Do not expose it to those who cannot believe, for the imaginal act is tender in its beginning. To cast it before ridicule is to chill its growth. Keep it in the silence, nurture it within, until it grows strong enough to be born without. So I tell you, the mystery is not solved by striving, but by atmosphere. It is the fragrance you carry, the quiet climate of your soul. Live as one who wants, but is not enslaved. Live as one who longs, but does not despair. And in that fragrance, the world will bring forth your desire as effortlessly as the earth brings forth the flower in spring. Walk further with me, for now we shall enter the true freedom of faith, the quiet strength of one who wants, yet does not need. So then, what does it feel like to want, yet not to need? What is this freedom, this mystery of letting go? It is not indifference, it is not apathy, and it is certainly not the giving up of your desire. It is the calm assurance of one who has planted a seed in good soil. The farmer does not dig each day to see if the roots have formed. He rests knowing the law of growth is sure. His rest is not laziness, it is faith. He trusts the unseen process, and in due season the harvest comes. And it is also like a woman who has conceived a child. She does not expect birth tomorrow, nor does she doubt the life within her because it is unseen. She goes about her days with quiet confidence, preparing a place, resting in the certainty of what is to come. Her patience is not weakness, it is the deepest strength, for she knows the law of gestation cannot be hurried, yet it cannot be denied. So it is with you. When you have planted a seed in imagination, when you have conceived your desire in the womb of feeling, you must rest. You do not pry at the soil with anxious hands. You do not question the unseen growth. You rest and you prepare. And in the fullness of time, the invisible becomes visible. This is the mystery revealed. To want it with all your heart, and yet to rest as though it were already yours. To desire without despair. To long without fear. To know even before you see. For creation is finished. All that you seek is already prepared, waiting only for your acceptance. The moment you release the cry of need and embrace the quiet dignity of faith, the thing you desire moves toward you with effortless certainty. So rest now in this sacred assurance. Let the chains of desperation fall away. Let the weight of need dissolve, and feel the gentle strength of one who stands free, wanting, yes, but not needing. This is the freedom of faith. This is the power of letting go. Now, let us go into the silence